Yeah, he sat at the desk, and he typed words that meant nothing. The mirror staring at you. The girls standing behind the glass, wearing sentences backwards, scribbling, touching, soaking laughter of another world. Whatever. It's a cold world out there, baby. Like death in the afternoon, and ain't nobody listening. My name is Johnny Scuffles. Then he stood up and he looked out of the kitchen window, back there over his shoulder, and there was a dip carving into a hole in the earth. It was normally nothing, but then there was a space that was aglow. Beneath the precipice, that is. Yeah. And then lights through a depression in the side of the hill. And this small flat space that sat innocently, kind of like an amphitheater, illuminated by imprecise stage lighting. It spread beneath the houses and jutted out from the wall of the steep hill. He saw figures moving around in the lit space, a mass of bodies in the shadows above. It was like a midnight audience. Anyway, he walked sideways. He worked his way through brush. Little trinkets, trash, rubbish, that physical memory of lovers' getaways. Discipline is just an illusion given to the weak so that they might pretend that they can create strength through devotion. I could fight off greatness by trying to achieve less than something great, but I'd be wearing a false costume. Fate is my committed stalker. I'm its reluctant object of affection, just delaying a love affair that will eventually come to define me. You know? Wine bottles and old broken radios, these things spotted the shrubbery of the hillside. Morgan descended, breathing heavily. The slope flattened, and he resumed walking forward. He walked faster, but noticed empty beer cans and flattened popcorn bags, and he smelled popcorn, and he smelled hot dogs, and at the bottom of the hill, everything changed. Everything changed. Dogs, really. But at the bottom of the hill, it all changed. It all changed. He walked through the trash, and there was this strip of porta potties that stank. It reeked of sewage. But cotton candy and more beer cans dotted everywhere. There were pebbles then, paved earth. And then came this unexpected parking lot. A parking lot. A parking lot.
Construction of a wall across the midriff of the land has created noises that wake all the sleeping snorers, or the snoring sleepers. My equilibrium becomes blithe, listless as I hear the jackhammer quake all the way into me ears, which is now bleeding. You know, if I can have anything in this fictional world, why am I so incapable of taking it when it's all so close to me? Floating like a fuzzy notion waiting to be spoken. Maybe I am far too dissolute to create any more mythologies, but really, this thing we call life, it's really just a battle we've been thrown into blind with nothing but our words, our deeds, and our history. The dream function was all wrong. Dreams began to manifest themselves externally, case in point that flashing little thing apparently capable of tricking my eye.
Modest stadium. It was like a coliseum at the center of an amphitheater. He stumbled into a line. Language is just a whore. The only whore. And poets are violent pimps with aggressive tendencies couched only by the semblance of art. He sat in that living room, Morgan, and then things just stirred. They stirred in his belly, around the ceiling, down to his toes. His innards became a madman, dancing wildly in some field underneath the satellite moon, frothing at the mouth, expelling the nastiest, the beautifulest of creative creation seizures, his torso in a fit of gonzo fury. This was the time when the world could shake, and that is when it happened, and the idea of Scuffles was born in Morgan. Cold, beckoning, rotten, blithering bothers, barons of a soulless valley creeping with coroners retired from their duties, crowned by grasshopping larvae. These people all slurped udon noodles and spat into their cell phones, shish kebab, frozen potatoes, liver and onions soaked in the good ale of Mackenzie's down the way, lollipop on a frozen barnacle of the fisherman's lunch, pale paradise crunch and hop across the lonely cage, the airborne and the swimmers. Some have 4 engines, others are capable of abandoning the hawk for a crow. And that's all we have now, but stay tuned for future moments.